Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the Fifine SC3 mixer and all my thoughts and opinions around this mixer and if I think it's worth picking up over anything else.
Wake up 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about medicine. She tell me she got a new nigga, his name is Julian.
So first I want to say that Fifine did send this mixer out to me for review. That doesn't in any way, shape, or form affect my opinion of this mixer, and this is all going to be my raw thoughts and opinions about this product. So starting off, we're going to go over just the basic feature set of this mixer. It comes with a auto tune, a voice changer, the key of your auto tune, 4 custom sound buttons, 3 different mute buttons, and then a mic monitor button, 4 sliders, and then 2 line out, 3 line in. I am going to say that I do not recommend this mixer for people who have any kind of professional audio gear, as using it paired with my other microphones like the AKG P120, the Shure SM7B, or the Behringer XM8500. I did find that the XLR input wasn't as clean as I would like it to be, and I would even recommend going for something like a M Audio M-Track Solo. That is my default recommendation for XLR inputs. It is very good, like $50, and it's really good starting off interface. So the people why someone would be looking at a mixer and not an interface is strictly for the faders and custom buttons. So this mixer does have 4 custom buttons. These custom buttons allow you to pretty much put different sounds onto it. If you press and hold it for 3 seconds, it'll light up white, and then you'll be able to play a sound in through the line in. So through your input of either your PC or whatever input you have coming into the mixer, it'll record that, and then you can play it back through the custom buttons. The sliders are pretty decent. They're not the best sliders I've ever used. They do have a little bit of drag, but if you're buying a $35 mixer, I'm not really expecting the sliders to be super top-notch like anything to any pro audio gear. A couple of big gripes I have with this mixer is the headphone out and mic monitor button are tied to the same slider. So if you press mic monitor to hear your mic back while you're talking, and then you want to turn your headphone volume down, they're tied to the same slider. So you have to balance your microphone so you're able to hear yourself without your mic being too loud. And I found it being personally really annoying to have my mic and headphone tied to the exact same fader and not have a separate mic monitor slider alongside a headphone slider. I would have loved to have seen those just be 2 totally separate things, especially if you could even reprogram these. To my knowledge, this doesn't have a software, so you're not able to plug it into software and remap anything. It just comes what's on it, and that was another big downside to me. The line out of this mixer, I'm just going to go ahead and say, don't even consider it. The line out is one of the worst audio outputs I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to play a small snippet so you guys can see how it sounds.
I just bought the X and then another one. I just took a tap, I'm talking to the sun. I just bought the beat, no, I can't go to sleep. I just fucked your bitch while I'm in Jodeci.
But that is what you're getting from the line out. The headphone out gives you a standard headphone jack. It's kind of on the noisier end when it comes to it outputting sound. Even something like a really cheap DAC would sound better. Like what I use, the SMSL M3 Mini, it has a much cleaner audio output, and I would recommend using that for that. The inputs are a little bit on the wacky side. So you have XLR input, which also supports TRS 1/4 inch. So you're able to use either a 1/4 inch jack or an XLR input. You also have a headset input, and then you have your line in. I wouldn't really recommend using the line in because it is on the noisier end. I would recommend definitely using an XLR microphone if you are picking up a mixer. I wouldn't be buying a mixer if I'm using a aux device. Hello, this is Editing Stubby. When I say on the noisier end, I mean the noise floor is relatively high, so you're able to hear a lot of that in the background, especially in your recordings or in your inputs. It's a lot more present that the noise floor is not good. And when compared to something even like a budget interface, like I said, the M Audio M-Track Solo, even I think the Focusrite, the new Focusrite Podcast one, all have really decent noise floors, and it's not something I could really notice when comparing those to the Fifine SC3. The headset is also tied to the input. So if you plug a headset in and you have an XLR mic plugged in, the headset takes priority over the XLR microphone. So you'll need to have a headset plugged in and then make sure that is your main audio device. Or you plug your headset into your headphone and then you have your XLR input, like your microphone, plugged into here. The feature set of this interface is really meant for people who just want to have a little bit of fun. And I wouldn't really recommend this as a main input device. I would definitely recommend this if you are a console streamer. This only works on the PS5. This doesn't work on the Xbox. Or if you're a beginning streamer and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a interface or a lot of money on a proper mixer like the Yamaha MG6X, which is just a fantastic mixer. I used to have one. It was one of the greatest mixers I've ever used for its price. This gets you kind of in the door of XLR audio and XLR interfacing, but this isn't pro-level gear. And I wouldn't really recommend this to people who are looking for pro-level gear. You're probably going to be looking at this if you are looking on a budget. You want something that has XLR input and USB connectivity, so you're able to use it with your computer, and then a microphone that you bought that you didn't know was XLR. You thought it was a USB microphone. This is a perfect interface for that. But for any pro audio gear, anything regarding stuff where you would need the consistency, this just isn't doing that. The line out has a cut at 190 hertz, and it does like a really sharp low end cut. And I don't really understand why the line out does that. The headphone out is a bit noisy. Like I said, it does its job. I can hear the audio pretty fine. I do wish that the headphone out was in front of the mixer, because I like to have this sit on the desk and then have my headphone come straight to my thing. I don't want to have the headphone cable wrapping over the mixer. So we're just going to go through a couple of the settings.
Here we have their male setting.
Here we have the female setting.
Here we have robot. Here we have monster.
Here we have baby.
Here we have elder.
And then this is the auto-tune setting. I'm just going to go through the keys, and so you can kind of see how all of them are. It does have every key from C to A. If you don't know the pentatonic scale, it's C, D, E, F, G, B, A. So it has everything there, including all the flats. So you can control your auto-tune in that way if you are a really big fan of auto-tuning your voice for funnies. The line in, like I said, it worked. It did its job. It wasn't really for me. So that's because I was using the mic, the line in. And the 48-volt phantom power does work with my AKG P120. It did its job. It was able to power the microphone. It can also power the Shure SM7B, yet it is really quiet. So I would recommend getting something a little bit more powerful for an SM7B. Like you could even get, there is a new Focusrite Duo, really good budget interface. But yeah, this is really not a product that I can easily recommend to a lot of people, but it is a pretty decent budget-friendly product to get into XLR interfacing. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this for pro audio gear, but as someone who wants just a quick XLR into USB out, this does the job, and I really can't hate it too much. But this definitely was my least favorite product from Fifine, and I'm a really big fan of 90% of their products. This is the 10% that I just can't easily recommend unless you're absolutely just strapped for cash and need an XLR interface. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more. I do have a lot of content coming in the near future, and a lot of buying guides, a lot of reviews. I have the Samurai coming up. I also have the Key 83 and a bunch of other stuff. So be on the lookout for those. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Wake up 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about medicine. She tell me she got a new nigga, his name is Julian. Give a fuck about her new nigga. I'm just trying to get my check.